some are questioning whether or not there is a huge double standard when it comes to this issue of sexual harassment and sexual assault in the entertainment industry. Now, Harvey Weinstein has gotten a lot of justified criticism and backlash for decades of victimizing women in the industry. However, recently, Ellen DeGeneres shared something on Twitter that is making some men raise an eyebrow, okay? So she wanted to celebrate Katy Perry's birthday by posting a photo, and the photo shows her staring at Katy Perry's breasts. And then her tweet says, "Happy birthday, Katy Perry. It's time to bring out the big balloons."
Get it?
Yeah, clever, okay.
All right.
So now here's the backlash that Ellen DeGeneres got. Example number one was Piers Morgan, and he said the following: "If a man made this joke, Ellen would lead the cries of sexist pig."
But you don't know that at all. So I'm sure that a lot of people would say that that was sexist if a guy did it, but would Ellen lead cries of sexist pig? There's no evidence to that effect at all.
I feel like Ellen goes out of her way to not ever say anything controversial, which is why it's interesting that she thought that tweet was a good idea. I actually half agree with the criticism that, not half agree, I agree with the criticism she's getting. Unfortunately, I think that the criticism is coming from dudes who want to make excuses for men who do this, right?
I have a completely different take, which is gonna get me in more trouble, but keep going on other reactions.
And then Michael Rappaport says, "Me, femme, you support women sexualizing other women? If that was me in the pic and tweet, I'd be done." And he continues to say, "Imagine if Cam Newton or any other man sent out this tweet and photo." Okay, and then, so just to kind of clarify what I meant when I say that this criticism is unfortunately coming from dudes who want to make excuses for themselves, Brooklyn Bookworm perfectly laid it out. She says, "You're not a woman, let's start there. You're not upset about her being sexualized, you're upset you as a man can't do it without backlash." And so when it comes from that place, that's when it rubs me the wrong way. But I think the underlying point is accurate, right? Like, I put myself in Katy Perry's shoes. I don't know how Katy Perry feels about it, but thinking about myself in that position, I would not be amused by that tweet. I don't care if it's Ellen, I don't care how lovable she is. Like, don't put out a picture staring at my breasts and then talk about the big balloons. Like, I just wouldn't like it.
Okay, so let me zig and zag here. First off, Brooklyn Bookworm's response to Rappaport is probably true, right? That mainly guys are going, how come we don't get to do it, right? Now, but I'm a little biased in favor of Rappaport for a couple reasons. One, he did a great anti-Trump video the other day, okay. Two, I super randomly ran into him at a hotel in LA, and I kind of like the guy, and I liked his acting. Okay, so I'm just telling you what my biases are. So I also agree with Rappaport though, when he says you support women sexualizing other women. If that was me in that pic and tweet, I'd be done. He would be, people would be super pissed.
Yeah, he's right about that.
He is right about that, right? So, okay, now what's my opinion? Here comes the controversy. Look, in that picture, it isn't just her breasts. She wore a dress that shows a ton of cleavage. So, and Katy Perry, to be fair to her, hasn't been the one saying, I'm outraged. If she said, I'm outraged, I'd say, well, I'm not sure I agree, okay? You wear that dress, doesn't mean don't go crazy on me. You can't touch her, you can't do anything non-consensual, you can't say she had it coming, you can't say any of that, it's terrible, etc. But if someone looks, you can't go, oh, how dare you, come on.
I know, Cenk, and I agree with you on that, but this is not just, someone looked. Like, it's not like someone snapped a picture of Ellen like candidly like glancing at her breasts. This is Ellen purposely staring at her breasts and making a spectacle about it on social media. Like, it's just, it's not okay, it's not. Like, and I get it, like, I know that if I'm gonna be scantily clad, people are gonna look, right? And I'm not gonna blame them for doing that. I'm not gonna be outraged if they do that, you know? But at the same time, it doesn't give them the right to just completely disrespect me in any way that they choose. You know what I'm saying?
But is that disrespecting her? I don't know. I mean, look, And it's hard for me to relate. It's hard for me to relate because I'm a guy. So I have body parts that are amazing. My rock hard ass, my monstrous triceps. People know this, okay? And if people looked at it and said, "Wow, that is amazing," I'd be flattered. I know it's different. That's why I'm saying
different.
I know, right? But so, and we're all putting thoughts into Katy Perry's head. She hasn't said a word about this, right? So I'm just telling you that I'm not offended by what Ellen did, and I know that people would be offended if a guy did it, and that is a hypocrisy or a double standard that's worth pointing out a little bit. And
the word offended offends me at this point, right? Like I'm so tired of like, oh, this is offensive. I'm offended by this. Who cares if we're offended or not? That doesn't matter, right? Whether we're offended doesn't matter. What matters is that there is a double standard. And if a dude did this, it would be considered unacceptable. If a woman does it, it's cute. And by the way, she's not a straight woman either, right? So she has the same, sexual desires that men would when it comes to Katy Perry being, scantily clad, I guess. And so it's just, again, whether I'm offended or not doesn't matter. I think that double standard exists, and if we're gonna hold people in any industry at a certain standard, that standard should apply to both genders. That's what I'm saying. I
hear you. Support independent media. Come join us at the Young Turks. TYTnetwork.com/join.